Welcome to a new video where I'm gonna convince you that it's perfectly possible to live in a small apartment and still be a happy yarn hoarder. So we are in the process of doing a cross-country move 500 kilometers up north here in Finland, and before I pack down all of my yarns, I thought it would be interesting maybe for you to see how I organize my yarn stash in a 42 square meter apartment. Welcome! If you're new, I am Veronica. I am a crochet designer, and if you are one of my regular viewers, welcome back. I'm so excited that you're here. So let me give you a backstory on why I have a very huge amount of yarn. So I work as a crochet designer, which in itself I need quite a bit of yarn when I design new patterns. But I have also dabbled in selling yarn, which means that some of my yarn in my stash, it is actually old stock. So that is why I have a ridiculous amount of yarn. Let me just check. I have a Google spreadsheet where I have calculated how many kilograms of yarn I have. If you haven't watched my previous video where I go through my entire yarn stash, I will link that video down below for you. I highly recommend to go and watch that if you want to know more about specific yarns that I own. I will not do that in depth in this video. I have about 30 kilograms of yarn located in a 42 square meter apartment. This apartment has a bathroom, a combined kitchen and living room where we also have our computers, and a bedroom. The bedroom is the room that I have taken over with my yarn, and let me show you how I store everything before I pack it down. This is not how we usually organize stuff in this room because of the move. There is piles of clothes. There is more piles of clothes. There is yarn, there is boxes, there is stuff everywhere. But let me show you kind of how I have organized my yarn before this mess. So because I sell yarn, I am very careful with the yarn skeins that isn't opened. So I want to keep them safe from moist and dust, and that is why I store them in basic plastic containers. When we first moved to Helsinki, we lived in an even smaller apartment. It was 30 square meters, and I could not for the life of it fit everything in that apartment. But we did have a storage unit down in the basement. This basement was maybe not the best solution for storing textiles and yarn in, but it worked because I have it all in plastic bags and plastic boxes. So they were safe even though it was kind of moist in that cellar. So highly recommend to have some really good boxes for your yarn. I recommend to have see-through boxes because then you can see exactly what is in them. I have both tried see-through and non-see-through. I hate the non-see-through, even though I have labels on them. I still do not like the fact that I am not 100% sure what's in those boxes. So I highly recommend some see-through boxes and add some labels to them as well. In these boxes I have currently some Karma cotton, some random stuff as unused needles and other business stuff, and those are also filled with Karma cotton and Pese cotton yarn because I use mostly cotton yarns when I design my amigurumis and my crochet bags. These boxes used to be up there, and down there. So as you can see, I fit stuff everywhere. So that have been my main solution for some of my yarn that is not opened. Then we have that little cute storage unit, which I found on Facebook Marketplace for 100 euro, and I love it so freaking much. It is a vintage cabinet, and in there I store all of my other cotton and wool yarn. Let me show you. Highly recommend to go and check out the organization video where I fixed this into a very pretty mess. It is not a pretty mess anymore, it's more just a mess. Because I have stuffed, for example, this looked really pretty, now I have just force fed this basket with more scrap yarn. So here I have scrap yarns for cotton. Here I just display all the colors of Kremke Soul Wool's Kadma cotton that I own, because I think it looks beautiful in a rainbow. Then here I have hidden gray, black and white and some odd yellow yarns and beige and stuff that I don't feel like it's pretty. Here I have all the rainbow colors. Then I have some new yarns that I haven't packed up and figured out where to put them. It's mostly, I think, yes, I ordered the entire color scheme of Alba for a project because I wanted to see all of the colors in real life. And then we have in this plastic box even more unopened skeins of mostly Alba and some Järbo. In this we have wool yarn, unopened skeins, and some amigurumis are also hidden here. That is Alice the Fox, and Emerald the Dragon is also peeking out here. But yeah, I have my goal this year was not to buy any more yarn, but I messed that up a little bit. So there is some more yarn since the organization video here, but I like to have a good overview of all the yarns that I have. So some are just lying like this, if it's like these curled up schemes. And then unfortunately I have some yarn back here that I can't see. So when we move, I need to figure out a solution so that I can have a good overview of all of these yarns. Here I also have some thinner wool yarn that is also unopened skeins. And yeah, some macrame yarn too. So in this cabinet I store most of my yarn that isn't in those other boxes. Up there I also have a plastic box inside of that hidden with Kadma cotton, I believe, because I have a ridiculous amount of Kadma cotton. The reason for that is because I ordered a bunch of Kadma cotton for a yarn kit that didn't end up selling as well as I expected. So now I am sitting on a lot of Kadma cotton, but it is okay. I have some other ideas for that yarn and some other yarn kits that might actually sell. And I am gonna make more bags, and Kadma cotton is a great yarn for that. So I'm not afraid of figuring out how to get rid of that, because I mean, it's yarn. At some point it will end. And another great thing though with that is, oh, it's not a great thing, it's actually a really sad one, because they are discontinuing that yarn. So I at least have a great stock of that yarn now for all of my future projects, and when it's done, it is done. Let me show you my other yarn storage solution that I highly recommend, which is my box for wool yarn scraps. Let me show you. Sorry, not sorry for the mess. Let's. This is currently my clothing storage because we sold our dresser where we store our clothes. So currently we don't have anywhere to store our clothes. But yeah, this is a really low, I mean it's maybe 20 centimeters high or something, box that is see-through, and it fits underneath there. So, which is great because that means that I have gotten all the yarns in the same place in the storage unit and then underneath. I used to have this under my bed too, so if you have a bit higher bed than we have, currently it's not working. So this is my wool yarns and this is how it looks. I've tried to color organize it somewhat and really happy with how it looks. And this entire box is going to go in the moving van. I'm just gonna wrap it around with some plastic wrap and maybe some tape, and then it is good to go. The last place I am currently storing yarn in is this basket. This is not super practical. It gathers a lot of dust. So I wouldn't maybe recommend this for long-term storage, but if you have skeins that you know that you're gonna use in the near future and you want to be able to look at them and see how pretty they are, a basket is a fun idea for storage too. That's also why I have some of my scrap yarns in baskets instead of plastic boxes, because I know that those are firstly yarns that I don't really care if they get dusty or a little bit dirty. I don't care about that because they are open skeins and I'm not gonna sell them. I'm gonna use them for my own private projects. And I also know that those are in frequent use, so that is not a long-term storage solution for me, but it works for my scrap yarns. I currently have, or we have, a lot of boxes with books in them, and we have pretty big cardboard boxes. So not to make them too heavy, I am gonna fill them up with yarn. So yeah, welcome to the packing segment. Let's pack down my yarn stash for our cross-country move. I have a lot of craft books, and books are pretty heavy and our boxes are big. So to make our boxes a little bit lighter than if they would be all filled up with books, I am gonna stack them with some yarns, and we're gonna start with yarns that are already in plastic bags or fabric bags. This is already packed, bingo. So I've been saving some fabric bags that I've been using not for groceries because they tend to get a little bit dirty when using them for groceries and stuff like that. So I've saved them to keep them a little bit cleaner, and I usually tend to store yarn projects in them and yarn in general. So I have maybe 10. So I am gonna fill them up because I feel like it's unnecessary to put all the yarns into plastic bags, because I don't think that it will not matter if they are in plastic bags or not. I am pretty comfortable that they will stay safe either way, if they are in a fabric bag and then in a big cardboard box. So let's start with, what do we want to start with? I would like to have them some kind of organized into at least wool and cotton separate. So maybe just empty this cabinet first, and then I also know when packing up that everything in this bag used to be in this cabinet. Up. Okay, first box is filled. This box can fit a little bit more, so I'm gonna stock it up with some other yarn skates. And that is where my energy ended. But I managed to clean out this entire cabinet, which is most of the yarn. And I've also packed and taped all of the other boxes. So I think I'm not gonna do anything more today. I'm gonna drink tea and sit down and crochet the rest of the evening. Thank you so much for watching this a little bit chaotic before moving vlog video thing. I don't even know what this is anymore. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any favorite yarn storage solutions. I might need some new ideas for the new house that we're moving into. And yeah, put a banana emoji in the comments if you are one of the people who lasted until the end of this video. I hope I will see you soon. There will be a break, I think, next week with the videos due to the move, but after that we are full on with the decorating and moving into the new house and my new studio. So if you are interested in videos like that, please be sure to subscribe and like this video so that I know moving forward. I'm not gonna linger anymore. Have a really nice rest of the evening. Bye!